President Trump ex-lawyer Michael Cohen claiming the president knew about the controversial meeting at Trump Tower with Don Jr. and some Russians in 2016. According to multiple reports, Cohen says after being told by Donald Trump Jr. about a possible meeting, then candidate Trump approved of moving forward. But President Trump denying it. Here to react, Fox News correspondent-at-large. He does it all, Geraldo Rivera. Geraldo, is this a big deal?
I think it is a big deal. First of all, I think Michael Cohen represents a significant legal threat to the president. You know, there's one consigliere. We all have one key person we tell all of our life story to. In President Trump's case, he trusted Michael Cohen. He was his fixer for many years. And now I think that Cohen has been cut from the Trump team. He is feeling reckless, and he's even able to do low down and dirty things like release that tape, that secret tape. I mean, it was unethical of him to tape his client, the president, and then for he and maybe his attorney, Lanny Davis, to release it to the public. I think very, very significant. If they're willing to do that, they're willing to do almost anything. And
well,
in terms of the meeting, very specifically, let me just say, in terms of the meeting, very specifically, the one who is at the most legal peril is Don Jr. Remember, Don Jr. testified to Congress. If Don Jr. testified to Congress under oath that the president did not know of the meeting, and Cohen has a tape that says the president did know of the meeting, then Don Jr. has lied, and Don Jr. knew that.
Well, the thing is, rather, who has more credibility? I believe Michael Cohen also went in front of Congress and maybe swore an oath, and I'm sure he didn't say that Don Sr. knew about Don Jr.'s meeting. Here's what the president just tweeted. I did not know of the meeting with my son, Don Jr. Sounds to me like someone is trying to make up stories in order to get himself out of an unrelated jam. Taxi cabs, maybe. Even retained Bill and Hillary's crooked lawyer. Gee, I wonder if they helped him make that choice. Now, there's a theory out there that Rudy Giuliani is trying to diminish the hand that Michael Cohen has, and it was the Trump team that released that information. Lanny Davis is on record saying, we didn't do it. What do you think?
I think, well, let me go through it again. To tape his clients secretly was unethical, but probably not illegal. To leak that tape once he had it, if indeed he did do it, then that is a criminal offense, and it certainly is a disbarable offense for Michael Cohen, the attorney. But I really do believe that the recklessly broad scope of the Southern District investigation plus the Mueller probe, you know, you can't tell what could happen. For example, if President Trump knew of the meeting in Trump Tower, if he did, let's take Cohen at his word. I know that's a very, very shaky proposition. But if the president knew of the meeting, approved of the meeting, then got some information or something else of value from the meeting that he used against Hillary Clinton, that could be collusion. Whether or not it is illegal, it might be a campaign finance violation, for example. But you can see in the broadness of the scope of the possibilities that I'm giving you that Michael Cohen does represent, for all his sleaziness, a significant threat to the president.
Geraldo, you're a lawyer, so I've got to go with you. Also, you also know, too, they are interviewing the CFO of the Trump Organization in this grand jury on Michael Cohen, which got punted by Robert Mueller to the Southern District. Will he look to take it back? Geraldo, I'll talk to you on radio. Is that okay? You don't have to dress as nice.
Okay, buddy.